Welcome back to YouTube, home of South Metro Sports. We're about ready to drop the puck between the Ross Columbus Blue Jackets and the Cairns Findlay Junior Trojans here. The winner of this plays the Indian Hill Rangers at 1 o'clock for the championship of the 12U Single A Gold bracket. And whoever drops this game, their tournament run is over. Second game of 5. Also, apologies for YouTube acting a little bit silly, as it says we have 2 games live streaming at the moment. We do not. It's just this one. So pick this game, not the last game that we just streamed. I have no idea what happened, but here we go. The Trojans back in the traveling blue jerseys, white letters and numbers, and the Blue Jackets in the home jerseys as Columbus and Findlay battle for the second time this tournament. The Jackets scored with 33 seconds left in regulation to tie it at 1, and then won in a shootout, best of 5, 3-1. And the Jackets looking for the 2-game sweep of these Trojans. Very solid pair of squads. There's Ross batting out a shot of Swisher, and the one-timer trickles away from Egan. Egan had one of the 2 goals in the 2-1 win for the Trojans over the Beasley, Indianapolis Racers. We have played 105, and it's no scores. The Blue Jackets marching up the ice, and the Trojans rolling the horse down the ice. As that's Chevette's now, and here comes a Jacket through, giving chase is Louse and Stearns. As Schwab in the net for Findlay, opposite Ross. Both teams were just 1 goalie. Both these goalies stood on their head in the 2-1 shootout win for Columbus. Now down the right wing, takes a couple heavy bounces, and down this way come the Trojans. Here's a shot by Savage, and over the shoulders of Ross. Savage lights the lamp. The first 1:45, and it's 1-0 Trojans. Your score, Savage. The first goal of the game over the shoulders of Ross, top shelf. Savage scores, and Findlay leads Columbus 1-0. The Trojans had a 1-0 lead for the majority of the game against the Blue Jackets. Then Columbus tied it with 33 seconds left in regulation, and then forced a 5-round shootout where the Jackets took it 3 out of 1. Now here's Findlay back with the puck. It's darted straight ahead for Corbin. Intercepted by Findlay, flipped and off of Ross, and a whistle. And offside went the Trojans with 9:55 to go in the first. Again, the winner of this takes on the Indian Hill Rangers. They're 2-0 in the Buckeye Year End Tournament. Looking to hoist up some medals, trophy, and a nice banner to hang at the home rink, which is the Indian Hill Winter Club. Here's Hoy. Stripped away as Columbus sends it down the ice. That was hurt that time. And we'll have a whistle, and offside went the Blue Jackets. As Savage scores in the second minute of this contest, give the Trojans an early 1-0 lead, a top shelf flip over Ross. Second game of 5 today. Have a nice turnout of fans, just like we did in the morning game. Got started at 8:20 instead of the 7 o'clock initial start time. The game was not supposed to be played at 7. It's just 7 o'clock was scheduled to have a game of some sort. Flip towards Bistranson at the left point. She'll feed it in towards the left bend as the Blue Jackets looking to tie it up. There's Schwab leaning down low in the left corner with 9:17 to go in the opening frame. The Trojans and Schwab lead Columbus 1-0 off the goal from Savage. Played very well in the tournament. Down the ice it goes. That's an icing call on Findlay, and we'll go back in front of the Trojans goalie. We have 9:04 to go in the first. 6 teams involved in the Single A Gold regular season. Indian Hill won the regular season title, going 14-4-2, but these Trojans weren't far behind at 12-4-4. The Trojans scored the least amount of goals between the 2 squads, Indian Hill and Findlay. That's second most the Trojans scored in the league at 74. Down low is Schwab with the stop, but Findlay gave up the least amount of goals compared to Indian Hill at 45-56. Face off towards the right with 8:55 to go. in the opening frame. 1 goal scored by Savage. It was Indian Hill, followed by Findlay. Then this Blue Jacket squad at 10-8-2. A swing of 8 points between first and third. Then you have Miami, Cincinnati, and the Caps. There's a shot, and just wide, put in by Louse. Louse tied the game with 10 seconds left against the Miami Junior Redhawks. Redhawks took the lead late in the first, held on to it until Louse scored with 10 seconds left, and that forced a shootout, which went 11 rounds, and the Trojans took it. Findlay has played 1 game that didn't require a shootout out of the 3, and that goes wide out of the reach of Halligan. 1-0 Findlay, your score off the goal from Savage here. The winner of this plays for the championship against the Indian Hill Rangers. Icing on the Trojans, a fresh new 5 out there for both Columbus and Findlay. Trojans take a 1-0 lead here. Have a nice crowd on tap. The volleyball tournament happening behind us once again. 2nd day in a row. It's been a very busy morning here at South Metro. Lots of people, lots of noise, lots of good smells coming out of the concession stand. Lots of breakfast foods being made. Now towards the right, flipped that way. Waiting for it is Pate. Now towards the boards, it's waved off. Pate had the last touch, therefore the Blue Jackets do have to retrieve it. 7:54 to go in the first. It's a 1-0 lead for Findlay. McKinney trying to push it through. Now scooped up by Pate. Towards the right where Halligan past the back of Holland. Here's a shot on Ross. A nice save and measurement. At the point was Egan. And Egan had, I believe, the game-winning goal against the Indy Racers. 2-1 win for these Trojans to close out Saturday. Battle in the right boards. Giving chase is McKinney. 7:18 to go in the first period. 1-0 your score. Now back for Pate. Towards the right. Egan stopping it just shy of the circle, away from Holland. Takes a sharp curve as Halligan plays it. Pate was going back to play it. That's slowed down by Lewis in front of the Trojans bench. 6:54 to go in period number 1. 1-0 lead for the Trojans. Again, the next game is the Newark Generals and the Columbus Capitals. Capitals won the last game 5-4, led 5-0 at one point. Down low, there's Ross with a stop, and the scoop as Louse was lurking nearby. The next game is PSU 7 on the Masters schedule, and that will determine who plays for the championship along with the Dayton Stealth at 3:50 today, our last game here at South Metro. Chevette's trying to feed Corbin as Ponte knocked down. Trojans putting immense pressure towards the slot as Louse comes back forward in the right corner. Here's Savage at the point, who scored the only goal thus far, almost added 2, but that's wide left of the cage of Ross. Pushed forward by Corbin. Bain strips it away. 6:14 to go in the first. 1-0 for Findlay is your score here from South Metro Sportsplex. Down low, Schwab will cover it up. Thought about getting rid of it, but there was a Blue Jacket coming in from the left. So again, this is for a championship spot. The winning team will be the away team in the contest against Indian Hill. Rangers went 2-0 yesterday. Halfway through the first period, 12-minute periods. 1-0 for Findlay as Savage scores. First on the ice for this game. Dropping off a couple sticks in the bench, and whistle and offside went the Jackets. Again, whoever drops this game is done for the tournament. Whoever wins this game plays for the championship. Again, it's the Pee-wee 12U single leg gold double elimination bracket. Second to last game here. We'll play for that championship at 1, and of course, it's here on YouTube. Hopefully, we won't have like 4 different live streams going at the same time. Not sure what's up with that, but from the amount of viewers I see in the encoder window, looks like we're doing okay. 5:33 to go in the first. 1-0 Findlay, your score off the goal from Savage. Savage scored a flipper over the shoulders of Ross. 2-on-1 back this way is Egan looking to add on the lead, but he sends it high. B. Lewis looking for the rebound. B. Lewis had a goal in the game against the Racers, I believe. Javette frees it away from Swisher. And here's a nice stand-up job turned in by Ponte. No, that is Lindsay, actually. It's hurt to Hoy. Hoy jammed up with the incoming body of Egan. 4:55 to go in the first. 1-0 Trojans your score. Move forward with the stick of Hurt. And Hurt now takes a slow roll towards the right and goes for the centerman in Bauer. Bauer a couple goals in this tournament. There's someone pushed away from the circle. That's Lindsay trying to get it back to Bauer in the slot. Hertz got it between the points, sends it on target, saves Schwab, rebound out of the reach of Lindsay, and picked up by the defenseman Bistranson. There's a shot goes high from Hoy and off the protective nets. I believe that hits off a Findlay stick, so we'll keep it in front of Schwab with 4:25 to go in the first. 1-1 your score. In 5 games, 4 more on tap, counting this one. Got a nice turnout of fans throughout this tournament. Face-offs to the left of Findlay. Now down the ice is Magyar. Right wing time, Bistranson trying to get a play on it. Findlay continues to move it. Here's Louse, rebound in front, and Lewis couldn't give it to Ross. Bistranson bullies it forward. It's Hoy. 3-on-1 back this way, the one being Savage. And now looking for Bauer. Bauer takes it left corner, trying to bounce it to Lindsay with 3:53 to go in the first. 1-0 for the Trojans over the Blue Jackets. Savage tipped away around the Zamboni corner. Magyar on the defense. Lindsay, Bauer, and also Hoy on that front line. Magyar comes away with it. Swapped off the left boards away from Lindsay and picked up by Savage just by the blue line. 3.5 to go in the first. 1-0 Findlay. Scoring in the second minute of this game was A.J. Savage. Took 1:45 to get our first goal in. Findlay scored early in the second against this Blue Jacket squad, but Columbus tied it up with 33 seconds left on an extra attacker power play by McKinney. And it ended in a 5-round shootout and a whistle. With 3:09 to go in the first. 1-0 Findlay your score. And the penalty box doors open for Columbus. Bowers in the box. It's a minor. The referee looked like he swirled his finger down the ref crease. And it's too many Jackets on the coat rack on the ice. Too many men on Columbus. Under 3 to play. Findlay 1 and Columbus 0. A.J. Savage with the even strength goal. Now Findlay a chance to add on a 5-on-4. It's controlled by Phillips. Shot on Ross is saved. Pate past Holland. Swap back. Here's Swisher. Swisher off the legs of Holland. And Pate will bounce it back towards the right. Holland 1-on-1. Egan closing up the shop. Trojans doing a nice job keeping that puck. They're attacking third. Kelbick's got it. Kelbick looking for the outlet. Could not find McKinney up top. Holland's now giving chase to Egan. Now left wing time is Pate. Almost ripped it away, pushing forward. Here's Swisher. Swisher couldn't get a clean shot off Ross. It hits off Pate. Pate sweeps it around looking for McKinney. Halfway through the first power play of the game, it's too many Blue Jackets on the ice. It's 1-0 score favoring the Trojans as A.J. Savage scores in the first 1:45 of the game. Trojans now cutting over towards the right. On the right wing, here's Kelbick. Shot, save, Ross. Bouncing puck through the legs of Stearns. That was a high bouncing puck. And recovered again by Findlay's defense. Very strong Findlay squad. Egan now, right face-off circle behind Ross. Egan picks it up as Massa waits at the slot. Holland right in front. Shot, save, Ross. Great shot by Egan. Breaking up and just parting the ways for a shot on goal. And Ross, nice measurement there, staying on top of it. Holland trying to get it. It's Cairns. Now for Faulkner. Back to Findlay. Off the chest of McKinney. McKinney pulling forward. Power play is done. And the 5th jacket out there will chase the puck. That's Halligan. Down this way, here's Savage looking for 2, and it's a save by Ross. Ponte, right wing. Down low is Halligan. 47 seconds left to go in the first. 1-0 Trojans your score. Deep in the slot, taking a tumble was Findlay as Kelbick. That was Louse. Or the Findlay bench asking for a tripping call. Louse back, chasing the puck, waiting on the left wing now. Closing on in is Ponte. 22 seconds left to go in the first. Jackets still trailing 1-0 on the early first period goal from Savage. Findlay will have to chase it back in their own zone now with 10 seconds left. Fresh out of the bench is Hurt. Jackets looking to tie it up late in this first frame. Pass gets out of the reach of Savage. Savage one-on-one. Good defense by Hurt. Last second in the point. No shot will be taken. Actually, that's a whistle with 0.3 seconds to go in the first. It's offside the call, and we'll go back in the neutral zone for a drop. 1-0 Findlay, your score off the goal from Savage. Time for one last drop, and that's the buzzer for the end of the first period. And we'll head to the second period, thanks to Dayton Children's and Dewey's Pizza Austin Landing for their support. 1-0 Findlay Trojans, your score after 1 here on the YouTube home of South Metro Sports. Nothing Findlay, your score at the start of the second period. This is Lee W. Mound with you bright and early as the Jackets now roll down the ice against Schwab, and up the ice will roll the Trojans against Ross. Around the left corner is B. Lewis trying to sweep it away from centerman Bauer. Bain now past the reach of Faulkner, but towards the corner the puck will not get there, and Findlay on the attack. A good defensive grab by the Jackets. That time will be whistled for icing as it crosses the goal line, and will drop it in front of Ross. With 11:32 to go in our middle frame. Winner plays for the championship against Indian Hill. Whoever drops this game will be done with the tournament. 4 games left, counting this one. And 2 of those will be championship games. So 1 more to determine who's playing for a championship. Then we'll have the first championship at 1 and the second one, I believe, at 3:50. Down the ice, here comes Columbus. Rolling on down. Here's a nice move. Savage in the way off hoist shot. Bain trying to clear it away past Bauer. Bauer battles in the right corner, flips towards the slot, off the legs of Lindsay, and Savage picks it up first. The Trojans roll down towards the attacking zone. Here is Savage. Savage flips it high over the net. 1 minute gone from the second. Findlay maintaining their 1-0 lead as Savage scored with 1:45 ticked off the clock. Very good tournament for these Trojans and Savage. Savage trying to push it forward. Now looking for Mas in the right corner. 10:38 to go in the second. Still 1-0 Trojans your score. Both Findlay and Indian Hill ended the regular season at plus 29. That's more goals scored than allowed. I mentioned Findlay led up the least amount of goals in the league with 45. Indian Hill scored the most with 85. Egan sweeps it around. It's settled down by Chevets. And now back to Phillips on the defensive grab. Again, we see Schwab in front of us. Arm goes up. And Columbus will be heading to the box with 10:09 to go in the second for tripping. Second power play on the way for the blue-cladded Trojans. The jerseys fairly similar to what the St. Louis Blues have, except the top of the shoulders are navy blue. And power play on the way for the Blue Jackets in the home whites. Similar to what the NHL wears at home. The only difference between the youth and the NHL kit, well, size obviously, but talking the number font is a little bit different as well. It changed when Reebok started making the NHL sweaters. Picked up by the Blue Jackets. The right wing, past the back of Savage, and swooped up quickly by the Trojans' Butler. Butler got the first Trojan goal. The tournament is a flash, and there's Ross with the save. The rebound jammed down low. 30 seconds gone from Findlay's second power play. 9:37 to go in the second. The first infraction was too many men and women, and the second one was a tripping call. And in the box went Holland down low, and a stop by Ross with 9:22 to go in the second. Some of the Newark Generals are starting to warm up. Watching this game behind the net of Schwab now. A couple new Trojans out there. Again, the Newark Generals take on the Columbus Capitals next for a spot in the Silver One Pee Wee Single A Championship. That'll be played at 3:54 our last game at SMS. 1:09 to go in the power play and 9:14 to go in the second. 1-0 Findlay your score. Flipped high and off the protective net. We'll drop it again. About 57 seconds gone from the Trojans power play. Again, wonderful turnout of fans. Findlay out of Northwest Ohio. Flag City, USA, also the home of Marathon Petroleum. Also Pioneer Sugar has a large silo, which I assume is full of sugar. Could be something else. I don't know. And it's right off the highway of 75 and also near US 68. 9 to play in the second. 1-0 Trojans your score. Trojans play at the Cube. Here's Savage. Helped out with Stearns. Drives it away defensively. 38 seconds to go on the power play. 1-0 Findlay your score. Savage, left wing. Stearns awaits on the other side. Here's Savage lining it up, and he hits it off the crossbar. Sharp bounce of Stearns sends it back in towards Ross. Savage trying to poke it on home. Great defense in front of the towering Trojan. 15 seconds to go on the power play. Past the reach of Laus. And down the ice, Columbus will send it with 8 seconds left. And scooped up by the Trojans. 3 seconds left as Bain on the power play. We're back to 5-on-5 now, and Holland will come out and play. 8 minutes to go in the second period. Findlay Junior Trojans 1, Columbus Blue Jackets of Rocks 0. And the Blue Jackets are officially the CCYHA. That's the Columbus Chill Youth Hockey Association, named after the ECHL team in the 90s that helped bring the Blue Jackets to Columbus. And that's going to be offside against Findlay with 7:49 to go in the second. 1-0 Trojans your score. And Findlay officially as FAHA. I believe that's Findlay Amateur Hockey Association. Your first rink after you pass Troy, Ohio. And said the Cube is a very nice place. North end of town. Not too far from Bowling Green, home of the Falcons, home of a beautiful historic rink there. And BGSU takes nice care of their rink. Also not too far from Toledo and the Michigan State border. Chip forward by Laus. Now for Hurt. Hurt curving over towards the right. And Hurt's offside with 7:19 to go in the second. Still 1-0 Findlay your score. The Blue Jackets call Columbus, Ohio home, which has seen an upsurge of hockey activity since the Blue Jackets were born. Well, drop between Stearns and Halligan. 7:17 to go in the second. We really do have a packed house here in the lobby. Hockey fans, some of the volleyball players on a break watching the action here. Corbin, right corner, off of Egan. Reaching down low as Hall. Schwab couldn't get a clean shot. Was Corbin. Stearns in the way. Now Egan taking flight. Laus, the wingman on the right. To Laus. One-timer goes wide. Beautiful idea. Just a little slide forward and a little hook towards the right. As the Jackets recover it again. I believe most of the youth hockey Blue Jackets play at the Chillers. There's a couple of those around. Dublin, Easton, Chiller North, which is Lewis Center. That's high over the reach of Ross. There's also the Ohio Health Ice House, which is the side rink. It's a nationwide arena. Left wing time is Lindsay. Lindsay hits it off of Corbin, exiting the ice. It's the fifth one there. There wasn't a sixth jacket at the time, so no too many men called there. Lindsay chased the puck from the right corner towards the slot. Ponte saves it away from X Lewis, and that goes wide left on the attempt from Faulkner. Ponte trying to get it. Egan strips it away, and we're halfway through this contest. 1-0 Trojans over Columbus. Goal by Savage. The 1:45 mark. Off of Schwab. Loose puck. Hoy couldn't hold on to it. And Columbus keeps it in the attacking zone as the attack from the Blue Jackets continues. Lindsay away from Egan. Trapping it now is the Blue Jackets' Magyar. Here comes Findlay with Swisher. Swisher, a shot by Ross. The rebound. Swisher unable to get it cleanly for a second shot. Now for Savage. Savage, another shot. And saved by Ross. That point time, it's a feed, and the tip by Moss goes awry to the right corner with 5:03 to go in the second. Still 1-0 Trojans, your score. Very similar to the first time these two teams played, where the Jackets won in the shootout 2-1. Where Findlay took the lead, this time a lot earlier than the Trojans did the first game, and then Columbus tied it up with an opportunity of their own. A 6-on-4 extra attacker power play for Columbus. McKinney tied it up with 33 seconds left, forcing the 4.5 to play. Goal! The slot by Columbus. That's Hoy with the goal. And we're tied at 1 with 4.5 to play in the second. Hoy scores. And the Jackets have tied this game up. Still plenty of hockey to be played. Until we decide, well, there's 30 seconds left, we'll have another shootout. We still have 16.5 to play in regulation. It is Hoy scoring the goal to tie it up in the slot. Great screen as Schwab committed more towards the right. The shot went towards the left of our vantage point here, second story lobby. As the Trojans looking to take the lead again. That's Ross down low with a stop, 16 seconds after the Blue Jackets goal. 4:14 remaining in the frame. We're in the second period and a 1 tie between the Blue Jackets and the Trojans. Swept around, here's Phillips. Golfs it towards Ross. And a stretching stop by the goalie. Takes 10 seconds off the face-offs. 4:04 to go in the second. 1-1 game. Face-off is to the left this time. And now pushed forward by the Jackets. Findlay plays it. That's B. Lewis. A send in by Phillips. Findlay back on the attack. After Columbus put immense pressure to tie the game up at 1. Findlay looking to do the same here. Laus plays it behind the goal line. Forward by Columbus. Chavets, again nicknamed Cheese. Turnover in the slot. B. Lewis couldn't handle it. It's scooped in by the Trojans. Loose puck. Here's Phillips with a flip. And back to the Blue Jackets it goes with 3:27 to go in the second period. Findlay won, Columbus won. Tying the game up in the second frame was Hoy. And taking the early lead was Savage. Savage picks up the puck defensively and gets it away from Halligan. Savage carries it towards the corner. Straight ahead off the glass. Slowed down by Pate. And away from B. Lewis. B. Lewis slips through. B. Lewis on the attack. B. Lewis on the left wing towards the slot. And Laus scores. B. Lewis. Beautiful pass to Laus. And Laus puts it in the back of the net, and the Trojans now lead 2-1 with 2:59 to go in the second. That's a great piece of hockey there by B. Lewis, stripping the puck away from Pate, taking it down towards the left wing, where Laus awaiting on the left side of Ross, and the one-timer comes true. Findlay back on top, 2-1 with 2:55 to go in the second. Off the end of the net, Ponte. And Egan coming back with it. Egan attacking the left wing. Some open space for Egan. Now met up with defender Hurt. And now Egan picks it up in the left corner. 2:39 to play in the second. Ross trying to slow down the puck. Waved off as Ross keeps it out of the back of the net. Trojans with their second lead on the day. 2.5 to play in the second. 2-1 your score, favoring Findlay. Egan strips it away just out of the neutral zone. Pushed forward by Columbus. Down low goes Ponte. That's wide and off the end of the net of Schwab. Phillips with the defensive grab. Scooping it towards the right. Now up ahead it's Hurt. Egan flips it forward. There's a catch by Swisher with 2:04 to go in the second. Swisher drops it down low, rolls ahead. One defender in front, and the defender pops it up. Swisher gets his own puck back, goes towards the left. The Blue Jackets try to spin it out of their own zone. Findlay back on the attack after Laus with a beautiful pass from B. Lewis, giving the Trojans another lead. This time 2-1. Findlay your score over the Blue Jackets, led by head coach Mike Ross. Jason Cairns, the head coach of the Trojans. Lewis now with a flip forward. Back to Hoy. Hoy tied the game up at 1 towards the slot. It's jammed up over the stick of Lindsay. Beautiful idea. The execution pops up in the slot for Columbus. 1:20 to go in the second. 2-1 your score, favoring Findlay. Phillips on the attack, trying to push it forward. Here is Bauer. Lindsay now going at it. There's lots of bodies on the left boards by the Blue Jackets bench. Puck is stuck by the point. Coming out loose for it is Bauer, but swarmed in the Trojan Army as we're in our last minute of the second period. Puck is loose. Good curve through by Lindsay as Egan retrieves it. Egan now towards the left. It's a send into the right point, and no one by the Zamboni doors with 44 seconds left in the second. Findlay 2, Columbus 1. Winner of this game takes on Indian Hill at 1 o'clock today. It's going to be icing on the Trojans and a brand new line out there for Findlay. Trojans looking to extract a little revenge on their shootout loss to these Jackets after leading 1-0 for most of the game. McKinney tied it up in the first game with 33.4 seconds left. The face-off towards the right of Schwab after the icing call. Moss flips it. Lost a lot of open ice with 30 seconds left. A good hustle by the defender and a pass towards the slot for Mouse. As Laus gets it there, but no shot is able to be taken in the slot. Here comes McKinney down the ice. Cairns ropes it towards the left for Laus awaiting at the point. Laus one-on-one now with the defender. Looks like Magyar out there. 5 seconds left in the second. 2-1 Trojans. Back to the Blue Jackets heading towards the bench. And that's 24. That's 24 minutes in the books as the end of the second period has the Trojans back on top by 1. It's 2-1 Findlay as Columbus ties it up with a goal from Hoy. And it's Laus with the go-ahead goal. 12 more minutes coming to you here on youtube.com/South Metro Sports. 2-1 Trojans just score as Laos with the go-ahead goal. Savage scoring in the first 1:45. Tying the game up was Hoy for Columbus. Now the Blue Jackets march up the ice and the Trojans roll the Army downwards. As Findlay looking to secure a place in the championship game at 1 o'clock against Compton's Rangers of Indian Hill. Battle towards the left face-off circle as McKinney on the attack. It's a one-on-one with two Trojans not too far behind. McKinney slips around the defender and ties it up. McKinney scores his second goal against the Trojans, and it's 2-2, 28 seconds into the third. McKinney scores a top-shelf flight. And it's now a tie game again at 2. Blue Jackets have tied it up twice. Findlay has taken 2 leads in this contest. Again, the winner plays at 1 o'clock today against Indian Hill for the championship. In the 12U single A gold bracket, Indian Hill awaits the winner. This is our second to last game in the group called PG. Here's Pate, sweep it. Cairns lost the stick. Shot saved Ross, rebound to Laos, and in the slot just trickling wide. Butler, a nice idea, but just a little heavy on the touch on the right. Sent in towards Ross, down low save. That was Savage from the right point. 1 minute gone from the third. Columbus ties it up again. Right wing time away from Savage. And now Bistranson joining the Jackets on the ice between the points. Keeps it in for the Jackets attack. And now here's a 2-on-1 back this way. It's Laos, the right winger. Laos takes it, flips it, and it goes wide. Rebound back to Butler. As Ross sweeps it away. Butler flipped, not on target. Laos, and it's Ross, another save. That time Butler, another stop. 10:25 to go in the third period. It's a 2-2 game as Columbus tied up in the first 30 seconds of this frame. This is Lee W. Mowen with you here on the YouTube home of South Metro Sports. Lots of fans here today as Ross watching the loose puck and jumped on top before Swisher could get a piece of it. They played nearly 2 minutes of this frame. Columbus beat these Trojans in a shootout the last time. This is the second matchup of the two squads. Again in single A gold, where the Trojans just 2 points away from a regular season title being split. That goes wide of Ross. Findlay went 12-4-4. Very respectable year. Very good year for Jason Cairns and the Trojans. Columbus went 10-8-2 with 69 goals, just 5 behind what Findlay scored. Very respectable year for the 3 and the 2 squad. Columbus is the home team in this matchup because of the fact that Columbus with a later win will drop it and the arm goes up and we'll have a power play on the way for tripping. 9:34 to go in the third. 2-2 game between the Columbus Blue Jackets and the Findlay Junior Trojans. And in for tripping goes the wingman Lindsay. Findlay on the power play. They're 0-2 on the day with 9:34 to go in the third. Trojans and the Jackets tied at 2. As more of the Newark Generals start to warm up, they'll play scheduled for 11. There's a flick towards Ross and a save that was taken by Butler. Butler had a rebound goal, his one score in this tournament. That was against these Blue Jackets, where Ross overcommitted towards the right and Butler fired it on home in the slot. It's 11:15, the next start time. I beg your pardon, not 11 o'clock. Although we can start at 11 because the teams are supposed to be ready 15 minutes before the game time. We have started games early. I think we've only started one game late here at South Metro. That's just because it took so long for the shootout. Hand pass with 1:39 to go on Findlay's third power play. Blue Jackets yet to go on a 5-on-4. 9:13 to go in the third. Columbus ties it up early in this frame. 2-2 your score. Halligan leaning in opposite now Phillips. Actually, that is not Phillips. Looks to be Swisher. Savage racing back with the defensive grab. Holland and Halligan waiting in the neutral zone. A good feeder. Allows some open room. It's a 2-on-1 in the right wing. Shot goes well wide to the left. 40 seconds into this power play. Phillips back to the point. Savage has to retrieve it by the referee crease. Towards the right as it is picked up by Swisher. Picked off. Here comes Columbus. That's Holland. Holland with a shot. Saved by Schwab. Schwab with a nice save. I mentioned both these goalies have done an excellent job this tournament and in this series between the two squads. There's a shot down low. Ross holds on to it. Swisher with the shot and looking for the rebound with Savage. 8:29 to go in period number 3. 2-2 game as the Jackets tied it up. We'll have Bauer coming in for the face-off for Columbus. Opposite Phillips that time. Shot, save Ross, rebound, burped away from Swisher. Now Magyar attacking the right wing, past Savage, going around the corner with 42 seconds left in the power play for Findlay. 8:12 to go in regulation, 2-2 game. Winner of this game plays the Indian Hill Rangers for the championship at 1. Zipping towards the right as Egan couldn't get the puck back for a second time. Left wing drop in for the Trojans, Cairns, and Cairns whistled offside with the referee sitting on the top of the board in front of the Jackets bench. 21 seconds to go on this 5-on-4, 7:54 to go in the third. 2-2 game. Bauer for the face-off. Back to the defenseman, Magyar. Now McKinney darts it towards the left corner. That's going to be icing. Icing the call with 7:47 to go in the third. A 2-2 game in front of Ross. Will drop it to the goalie's right. Bauer again. And it is Phillips taking the face-off. Actually, no, that is Cairns taking the face-off. Phillips did take a face-off earlier on his previous shift. It's the first time I've seen Bauer slow to get up. Back up as McKinney muscles it through. McKinney tied it up for the second time this contest. 3 seconds left on the power play, and the Trojans now 0 for 3 on the power play as Lindsay joins the Jackets on the ice. A 2-2 game with 7:27 to go in the third. And swooped in quickly by Pate. Round for Lindsay. Lindsay awaits it. It does not get around the Zamboni corner as Louse picks it back up. Here's Louse around the left corner, zipping towards, and scored by Cairns. Cairns scores from a nice Louse pass. Louse gets an assist. And it's 3-2 Findlay your score with 7:10 remaining in the third. Third lead for the Blue Shirts in this contest. They're looking to play for the championship and set up a 1-versus-2 battle in terms of regular season seedings. In the Rangers won the regular season title in single-A gold. Findlay not too far behind first place. Rangers 7 to go in the third, 3-2 game. Findlay up by 1, looking to add on. Swisher tangled up with Pate, and Pate looking to pick up speed down the left, and Pate draws the penalty. Findlay's going to the box for tripping, and it's going to be the first power play of the game for Columbus. Trailing by 1, 3-2 with 6:47 to go. In the box goes, I think that went Stearns in the box. And that will bring out the penalty kill unit for Findlay. First power play in the way for Columbus with 6:47 to go in the third. 3-2 Trojans your score. As that was Cairns the go-ahead goal with a pass from Louse. Louse gave the Trojans their second lead on a beautiful pass from B. Lewis, and Savage scored 1:45 into the game. Pate sends it on target. That hits off somebody and goes wide of the net. Around the left corner where the Trojans scoop it up. Trojans are 0 for 3 on the power play. Columbus, this is their first one of this contest. 6.5 to play in the third. Columbus trailing 3-2. It's a send in high for Hoy. Hoy with one of the two Columbus goals to tie it up for the first time. Flicked in left point, doesn't get to the goalie. That's off the backside of Cairns. 1:31 to go on the power play. 6:15 to go in regulation. Findlay looking to extract revenge on a shootout loss to these Jackets. Right point feeding for Pate. And behind the goal line it goes. Push forward. Flipped high towards the rafters. That hits off the top of the boards. As it's sent back in by Kelbick. And we'll drop it in the neutral zone with 1:10 to go in the power play and 5:55 to go in the third. Findlay, the third lead of the day, leading 3-2. And we'll drop it in center ice as Halligan takes it for the Blue Jackets. Blue Jackets led by head coach Mike Ross. Jason Cairns, the head coach of the Trojans. Again, whoever wins this game plays at 1. Whoever loses this game is done for the tournament. Up next will be the Columbus Capitals battling the Newark Generals of Paxton. Back in the Silver 1 bracket will go. And this is for the other spot in the championship. Whoever wins that game takes on the Dayton Stealth. Whoever loses, their tournament run is done. And then we'll crown 2 champions in our last 2 games. Here's Savage. Face-off circle. Just wide of the shorthander attempt. Good look for Savage. Lots of open ice. Behind the back of Halligan. Trojans on the attack with Egan. Flipped and caught by Ross. And dropped for Hurt with 5:09 to go in the third and 20 seconds left on the power play. 3-2 Findlay over Columbus with 5 to go in regulation. Blue Jackets looking to tie it up with a power play goal. And shoot forward out of the neutral zone. The Jackets will recoup in their own zone with Halligan. And neither team has scored a power play goal today. Combined, these two teams are 0 for 4 in that category. Findlay 0 for 3, Jackets 0 for 1. 4:39 to go in the third. It is a 3-2 Findlay advantage. The go-ahead goal belongs to Cairns. From Louse in the left corner. Swisher back with it defensively. Jackets will send out Bauer. Bauer lurking nearby. Here comes Lindsay on the right wing. And chipped forward to, looks like X. Sends it wide that time. 4:10 to go in the third. Here's a send in by Swisher, bouncing sharply off Ross. Magyar now away from Butler, stopped at the right point. Corbin gets a nice piece, and to the referee crease where Bauer retrieves it. Here comes Swisher to pick it up. And Swisher pushes it forward. Here comes a Blue Jacket and Bistranson fresh off the bench. 3:48 to go in the third. 3-2 Findlay your score. Push forward by the Jackets, Lindsay. Behind the goal line it goes. Bauer trying to push it forward. Behind the net, towards the slot. Magyar now the right point. Towards the mob. Bauer trying to poke it on home. Schwab saying no. Feet on home. Still lots of buys in front of the Findlay goalie, who has a chance to reset the legs. That's sent wide right. 2 Jackets approach on the right as Lindsay looking for Corbin. And nice job by the Jackets defense to close up shop that time. 1 goal lead. Neither team has led more than 1 in this contest. Findlay has now 3 leads to their name in this battle. Columbus has tied it twice. The Jackets trail 3-2. And here comes Louse. Saved by Ross with a big left leg. And back at Ross on the attempt by Stearns. 2:51 to go. Ross absolutely stellar in that sequence. Louse looking to add on to the Findlay lead. And then Stearns had a chance. Gloved by Ross. 2:51 to go in the third. 3-2 Findlay your score. And we'll have Ponte for the face-off opposite Cairns, who owns the go-ahead goal. Nothing changes between here and there on the Columbus side of the scoreboard. Here's a flick forward. Ponte trying to reach out for it. Back, and Ross gloves Phillips' attempt down low with 2:43 remaining. 3-2 game for Findlay. Goals by Savage, Laus, and Cairns. And for Columbus is Hoy and McKinney. Back to Ross, another stop, taking just a couple seconds off the clock that time. 2:40 remains in the third. 3-2 game. Face off towards the left is Ponte. Takes the face off. Back at Ross. This time 5 seconds ticking off the clock as the Trojans looking to add on to the lead. It's 3-2 Findlay your score. Ponte another face off against Cairns. This one's flicked wide left. And B. Lewis away from Pate. Hoy can't get a piece of it. Cairns crashing in, knocking both his and Hoy's stick out of their hands. Right point time with 2:20 to go. Down low, Ross with a stop. Now 2:19 remains in the third as Findlay putting lots of pressure on Ross. Their attacking zone. They'll swap out the line of Phillips, Egan, and B. Lewis. Mouse stays out there as the right winger. Bain. And we will have Stearns back out there with Savage and Mass as the left winger. Holland off of Halligan's late from the faceoff. 2:13 to go in the third. Shot wide of Ross. Pate comes in, away from Stearns. One-on-one battle. McKinney's got it. McKinney darts it, looking for the closest jacket in Holland. Met up very well by Laus on the defense. Laus tumbles, and now Columbus with a chance. In the slot, McKinney denied up front. McKinney trying to tie it up for the second time today and the third time in these two games. And here come the Trojans back this way. It's Savage on a 2-on-1. Savage takes it. Ross hits it off the glove. 1:38 to go in the third period. Findlay 3, Columbus 2. I believe that's some of the Capitals watching. Chevette's now towards the left for Holland. Back behind the goal line it goes for a retrieval from Bain. SWOHSHL now, right corner. Push forward. Now here comes Egan. Make that Savage on the left wing. Shot wide of Ross. 1:09 to go in the third. 3-2 game for Findlay. Holland working down low. This is for the championship game against Indian Hill later today at 1. Bauer trying to push it through. Good defense locked up by Savage, who will flick a biscuit to the wide side of Ross. Hurt. Away from Egan. Egan slows it down with the left skate. Egan trying to take it to the house. Lost the handle. 40 seconds left in regulation. Shot bouncing off the body of Columbus's Kelbick. Kelbick now straight ahead. Ross unable to get to the bench. This is going to be waved off. Ross being told to come back. Here comes the sixth jacket. Ross makes the skate. And at the point is Kelbick. Here's Hoy. Couldn't get the puck. Lindsay trying to take it with 15 seconds left. McKinney is the sixth jacket. McKinney stripped. And now down this way. Looking for the empty net goal. That's off the side of the net by SWOHSHL. Just a little more to the right, and that would have been a 2-goal lead. Just to the wide right of the net by Savage, and that's the game. Your final score, the Findlay Junior Trojans 3 and the Columbus Blue Jackets 2. And that will set up Trojans and Rangers today at 1 for the championship of the Pee Wee Single A Gold bracket. Findlay has won their last 4 games. They have played the last 3 in this 12U, and they'll get a chance to hoist the banners. They'll take on a very tough Indian Hill Ranger squad. And that's the end of the ride for this Buckeye Year End Tournament for Columbus. Great game as Findlay wins it in regulation, 3-2. We'll have the battle of the Newark Generals and the Columbus Capitals up next, back in the 12U Single A Silver 1 bracket. This is Lee W. Mowen signing off, and we'll talk to you again for the next game.